Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and today we are doing a video which is a tag. It is the new Year Booktuber Tag, and it was actually created by Jessen from Jessen Reads Romance, so I will link her channel down below and her video because I loved this. I was gonna do a goals video and like talk about my goals for 2023 and like challenges that I'm doing for 2023, and this was just such a much more fun and easy and enjoyable way of getting that information across, and I'm really just thought it would be like more interesting of a video than just like me listing all the things that all the goals that I have. There are, I think, like 8 questions to this video or to this tag, and I'm just gonna go through them, let you know what the questions are, give you my answers, and it's gonna be fun. The first question is, what are you most excited about for 2023? And I am very excited about Book Bonanza. That was like the first thing that came to my head, and specifically it's less the actual like signing and meeting authors, although that's very exciting too. The biggest thing that I'm excited about is seeing all of the booktubers that I love and adore in person all at once. I think it's gonna be so fun. There is such a large group of booktubers that are going, of romance booktubers going, and it's going to be amazing to meet and like give hugs to all the people that I have seen online and chatted over Instagram and everything, and actually see them in person, specifically Averie from Ava's romance books. I am so excited to meet. I am just so excited to meet literally everyone that is going to be there that I haven't met yet, and see the people, the booktubers that I have already met, and get to see them and meet all these authors that I've never met before, and I think it's just gonna be amazing, and I'm excited. So that's probably like the biggest thing that I'm excited for. Also, not bookish, if you want something that I'm really excited for next year, Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. That is something that I'm really excited. I have tickets with my best friend to go see Taylor Swift's Eras Tour in New Jersey, and we have really good seats and I'm really excited. So that's something, because I haven't been to a Taylor Swift concert since I was in early high school, I think. It's been a long time, so I'm really excited to see her in concert again and hang out with my best friend. We have a couple of different trips planned, and one of them being to go see Taylor Swift. So those are 2 things that I'm very excited for. One's bookish and one's not bookish. I have the questions on my phone, by the way, so if I keep looking down, that's why. But the second question is, do you have a Goodreads challenge goal, and why that number? I do. I make a Goodreads challenge every year, and usually I increase the goal each year. So in 2020, I think my goal was like 200, and then in 2021, my goal was, I think, 300, and this year it was 365, and I am lowering that goal this year, or in 2023. I plan to make my Goodreads goal 300 books. That is the number that I'm going to go with. I think that with that number, it gives me enough room that I think I'll be able to hit it without a lot of stress. And if I go over, that's great. I feel like I'll be able to hit that. And it won't give me the stress and anxiety of, I'm a person that needs to hit that goal. If I set the goal, I need to hit it. It's not, even though I know that it's just like an arbitrary number that I'm reading of books, and any amount of books that you read is a good amount of books to read, but if I list my goal as higher, it will stress me out that I won't hit it, if I won't hit it. And because of that, this year, in order to hit that goal, I've been reading a whole bunch of novellas that are really short, and I don't like a lot of them. So I'm spending all this time reading novellas that I'm not really a big fan of in order to hit the Goodreads goal, instead of reading like longer books that I think I'll actually love and then not hit that goal. So I feel like it's just makes more sense for me to make a lower goal, to actually focus on books that I actually think that I'm going to love, rather than like novellas or extra things, just so I can hit a number, you know? So I think that it'll allow me to have the less stress in order to actually hit a goal, and also I think that next year is going to be busier than this year, and because of that, 300 is still a lot of books to read, and lowering the goal is just going to be easier for me. So 300 is the best way to go. That's what I'm going to be doing, and that's why. Then the next question is list 3 5-star predictions. So I actually have a whole video where I did my 10 5-star predictions for 2023. So I'll link that video down below if you haven't seen it, but I'll give you 3 more, just like ones off the top of my head that I'll think I'll love. One is Let's Go Still by Kennedy Ryan. I think that that is going to be one that I'm absolutely going to love. I've given almost every single Kennedy Ryan book 5 stars, and so that's just one that I really hope to read in 2023 that I think that I will absolutely love. Another one that I have is Dark Notes by Pam Godwin. I don't know why. I don't know why, but that is one that I've always thought that I'm going to really love. I really loved Pam Godwin's writing in the books that I've read from her. I just think that it's so beautiful and captivating, and I think that that one is going to be 5 stars. And then let's go with whatever the Chloe Lease book is that's going to come out next year. The next Chloe Lease Bergman book. I can't remember what it's called, but the next Chloe Lease Bergman book, it literally doesn't even have a date or a cover, but I think that that book's coming out next year, and that's the third 5-star prediction I'm going to give. I've given almost every single book in the Bergman Brothers series 5 stars. I think the only one I haven't given 5 stars is the first one, so I think whatever Bergman book's going to come out next year is the one that I'll give 5 stars. The next question is, what genre, subgenre, or trope do you want to read more of? So what genre I want to read more of in 2023, I'm actually going to say YA fantasy. I used to love YA fantasy, and I still love YA fantasy, and I just never read it anymore. I'm always more focused on romance, and I'd really like to read the YA fantasies that I still have on my shelves that I haven't read yet, and also ones that have come out that I've been like thought of and said, hey, that looks really good, but I always prioritize romance over YA fantasy, so I'd like to read more YA fantasy. There are so many that have come out in the last couple of years where I've just like not read them, even though I think that they would be amazing and that I'd enjoy them, just because I've been focusing on just like entirely reading romance. And I think that those books are ones that I will still love and enjoy. Subgenre, this is gonna go right along with that, fantasy romance. I love fantasy romance, and when I read it, I love it, but I never like look for it, you know? I'm always like, oh, if one falls into my plate, if one like is recommended to me by a friend, I'll be like, oh yeah, that sounds good, and I'll read that one, but I never actively go and look for fantasy romances. And I go and actively look for other books, like I scroll through Kindle Unlimited or anything, or Audible, and like look for books in other subgenres, but I never do fantasy romance, and I love fantasy romance, so I'm going to try and prioritize reading more fantasy romances because I do love them, and finding different gem ones, it gets difficult because there are a lot of fantasy romances that I want to read that don't have audiobooks, so I'm thinking that I'll just like scroll through Audible and try and find some fantasy romances that have audiobooks that could be absolute gems, but I just never go looking for them. Then trope that I want to read more of in 2023. Well, I know exactly what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with older woman, younger man. In 2022, I've realized that I love age gaps with older women and younger men, and I don't have a lot of them, and so that is something that I'm definitely going to be like on the lookout for, wanting to find more of, because the older woman, younger man books that I've read, I've given almost every single one of them 5 stars. They're all ones that I really like, and it's something that I didn't notice until this year, and so, or until 2022, and so I'd really like to find more in 2023 that are older woman, younger man, because I've read so many age gap books where they're older man, younger woman, and there are less with older women, younger man, and so I love that, and I want to read more of them. And the next question is, what trope do you think will be most popular in 2023? I mean, enemies to lovers is always super popular. I think that age gap is super popular, and that will continue to stay super popular. I know that like with the success of books from TikTok in 2022, a lot of the books that TikTok loves are age gap, and so I think that that is gonna be like a super popular, continue to be a super popular trope. I also think single parent has gotten so popular, just like going through like bookstores, a lot of the books that I see on the tables now are single parent, so I think that that is going to be popular. But I want Grumpy Sunshine to be the best popular because that's my favorite. Then the next question is name 3 bookish goals for the year. So one that I have every single year that I'm going to continue to have in 2023 is to read more new to me authors, especially less known authors. If they're new to me and like super popular, that's fine too, but just like I want to focus on new to me authors. I tend to do this thing where I find an author that I love and then read like all of their backlist. And that's fine to have my like favorite authors and find a new favorite author. But because I spend so much time reading backlist titles from authors that I've already read from, I tend to not go and look for new to me authors. And something that I focused very hard on in 2022 was reading more new to me authors. And I successfully completed that goal. I did a great job. I think I tracked it, and I think I read from like 80 plus new authors in 2022, and some of them were like absolute favorites. Catherine Cowell's Claire Kingsley was a new to me author in 2022, and I'm so happy that I read hers because I'm pretty sure 2 of her books are going to end up on my top 22 of 2022. So I'm super happy that I searched out new to me authors. But one thing that I want to do and really focus on is lesser known new to me authors. But yeah, new to me authors is always a goal for me because I prioritize. And one way that I do that, which I did in 2022 and will do again in 2023, is I will be doing A to Z challenge for new to me authors, where I have to read a book by a new to me author with every single letter of the alphabet. So I actually just did my goal challenge yesterday, or like reading challenge thing, but basically it's a to Z author challenge with new to me authors, and so there's every letter and I have to read a book by every author, and I completed the challenge, and here's the 2022 one where all the authors are checked off except for X, because I have yet to read an author that starts with X. But I successfully did that in 2022, and we'll do another challenge in 2023 of A to Z new to me authors. The next one that I have for bookish goals is I say this every year, but I'm going to actually focus on it this year, and that is annotate. Then my 3rd bookish goal is to utilize Goodreads more. I recently watched a video with Averie. Averie from Ava's Romance Books made a video where she talked about how she organizes her content for YouTube and organizes her books through Goodreads to help her with bookish content and making videos. And I loved watching that video. I found it so helpful and interesting, and I realized how much I am just like underutilizing Goodreads. And so I really want to try and take the time, like once a week, once every 2 weeks even, to go through Goodreads and add the books that I'm reading to shelves of tropes like Averie did. I will link Averie's video down below. Please go watch it. If you're thinking about being a YouTuber, a booktuber, if you are a booktuber and you're just looking for a better way to organize your content, like seriously, this video was so interesting and helpful to see how her brain works in order to like organize her video ideas. And I'm not gonna do everything that Averie does in that video, so like there are certain parts of it that I don't necessarily need because I have my own way of doing things, but the Goodreads utilization that she has is so impressive, and it's something that I really think would be really helpful for me, especially when making YouTube content, and especially for prepping YouTube content. And so I want to try and utilize Goodreads and like the shelves and stuff way more because I've literally never made a shelf on Goodreads. I never did that. I never did that. And I didn't even know how to make a Goodreads shelf until I watched Averie's video. So I think that that would be something that would be really helpful for me and definitely a goal that I have in 2023. Then the next question is, what are 3 personal goals for the year? And let's see, what do I have? So the first one that I have is to move out of my house. So I currently live with my parents, if you didn't know that, and I would like to move into my own apartment or own place to live. So that is one big goal that I have for 2023, is to get out of my parents' house. And like, this was a good place for me in between like college and the next step and everything, but it's time now to move out of my parents' house. So that's one big goal that I have for 2023. Second personal goal that I have is to do strength training, I guess, sort of. I don't even know how you would call it, is to do strength exercises. So I am very good at cardio. That is the type of exercise that I tend to go towards. And because of that, I have no like muscle. I really, really want to focus in 2023 on my strength fitness and just like going to actually, I don't know, lift weights or utilize the like machines and gyms that are more geared towards upper body strength. I have chronic pain in my upper back and my shoulders, and because of that, I have always struggled with like the top upper body area, and I never go towards weightlifting or anything like that. But it is the type of exercise there are certain types of exercise within that would be very beneficial for me in order to do, but it always intimidates me, and it doesn't need to, it shouldn't. And so my main fitness goal for 2023 is to focus on gaining like upper body muscle, you know?
Hi, I'm editing this video right now, and I realized that I only gave you 2 personal goals, even though I had 3 written down. So the third one that I had written down was to drive more. So I have a car, I have my license, I know how to drive, but I have a lot of anxiety around driving. I'm not really sure why it's anxiety. It's not logical. I have a hard time with driving and making myself like actually drive and like be comfortable with it. And so one of my big personal goals is to become more comfortable driving, especially longer distance, especially by myself, because there are a couple of things next year that I really need to drive a long distance to. And I have not driven by myself on a long distance in a long time, or ever actually. I was starting last year this year in 2022 to get more comfortable driving. I had been driving a lot, and then I actually got into a car accident. Somebody hit me, and that kind of reverted all of the progress that I had made about my being comfortable driving. And so I want to just get more comfortable with it and get back into doing it. I work from home. I don't go very many places a lot, and so I don't have to drive as much. And so think my goal, what I'm going to try and do is just like take short trips every day kind of thing, or not necessarily every day, but at least a couple of times a week, because there are some times where I just literally don't drive for like 3 weeks because I don't have anywhere to go. And I am going to like even if it's just to literally drive to the bookstore, to get myself to be more comfortable behind the wheel in order to, when I have to drive those long distances, at least be comfortable in the car. You know what I mean? So that's my third goal. I literally had them written down. I don't know why I only said 2, but there's my third goal. I hope you enjoyed that.
Then the last question is, what do you want to leave behind in 2022? And I have a lot of things. Literally every single thing on Jessen's video is something that I want to leave behind. Also, judgment in general, just like literally so the judgment of people and how they read, what you read. I just think it's ridiculous to be so concerned over somebody not liking a book that you liked or liking a book that you didn't like. Like, read what you want, enjoy what you like, you do you. It's not necessary to just like judge people for what they're reading and how they're reading. The fact, if I have to hear one more person say that audiobooks aren't reading, I'm going to like blow a gasket. The ableism behind that statement makes me just like so fiery mad. But another thing that I'm gonna do, very strong focus that I'm gonna try and leave behind in 2022 is the pressure that I put on myself to read books because my friends love them or because they're really popular on like TikTok or something. I do this thing where I literally hear so many people talking about a book, and even if I don't think I'm gonna like it, I struggle so much with not reading that book. I'm like, oh, so many people like it, maybe it'll be finally one that I like. It's not going to be, and that continues to happen. And I do that with like certain authors where it's like, I have never ever liked a book by this author, but maybe the next one will be one that I like, because that author's popular, and I feel like I'm doing something wrong because I don't like that. And so I put this like insane pressure on myself to read these books that so many people are reading and loving, even though I don't think that I'm going to enjoy them. And I want to just like set that aside and focus on books that I think that I'm going to love, and stop wasting my time on books that I don't think I'm going to like just because they're popular. That book does not need a bad review. I don't need to waste my time just because it's popular. I'm not gonna like it. And so I would really like to just like take that pressure off and just like leave it behind in 2022. But that was the last question. That was it for this video. That was it for this tag. Thank you again, Jessen, for creating this tag. I hope that this was interesting and a little bit more interesting than just like me listing out some goals that I have. But that is going to be it for this video. So please like it if you liked it, subscribe so you can see more content from me, and leave me a comment below saying what is a goal that you have in 2023. But that's gonna be it. So I hope that you have the best day. Bye.